Well, our top story, the two key UP seats nomination deadline looms over the Congress for Amethi and Rai Bareli. The nomination has to be made by tomorrow afternoon, but still no word on who it is who will be contesting. Are the Gandhi siblings going to fight from either of the constituencies? The Congress still undecided. There was a meeting a short while ago between Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge and senior leaders with Rahul Gandhi, and what NDTV has heard is that final decision will be made soon, that it's up to the leaders really to take that final call tonight. Meanwhile, the BJP has declared its candidate for Rai Bareli. Tired perhaps of waiting for the Congress to announce it, the BJP went ahead and announced State Minister Dinesh Pratap Singh as its candidate. Dinesh Singh was BJP's candidate from this constituency in 2019 as well, and he lost to Sonia Gandhi then.
मेरे सामने तो कमल का चुनाव निशान है। विपक्ष में कौन है मैं नहीं देखता हूं। मुझे चिड़िया की आंख की तरह अपने कमल का सम्मान, अपने कमल की इज्जत, अपने कमल की विजय सिर्फ दिखाई देती है, और मैं समझता हूं कि मैं इसको सुनिश्चित कराने में सफल हूं। आदरणीय दीदी स्मृति ईरानी जी एक बार चुनाव हारी हैं, दोबारा जीती हैं। रायबरेली में एक बार जनता जानने में वक्त लगाती है। 5 साल में रायबरेली की जनता ने जान लिया है कि हमारे हक में गांधी परिवार नहीं है।
All right, well, let's go across to Tanish now, who joins us from Amethi. And Tanish, yesterday you rushed to Amethi thinking that announcement could be made yesterday or by yesterday evening. It's now the next day in the evening, and we're still waiting for this announcement to be made. So that suspense continues, and what we have heard is the final decision has been left to the Gandhi siblings.
Yes, of course, Gargi, इंतहा हो गई इंतजार की, but you know, I'm guessing that today the Congress list will be announced, because we just got a message from the Congress party that the one list of Lok Sabha candidates will be announced shortly. But I would like to tell you, I'm right now at the Congress office in Amethi. I would like to show you the new posters that have come up. The new posters that have come up. Here you can see 2 new posters that have come up with Rahul Gandhi in it, and with him is of course Akhilesh Yadav. It says "Haath badlega halat, ladega India, jeetega India." So of course, at the same point of time, showing solidarity, showing that India bloc is showing the India bloc's fight from Amethi and not just Congress, but the party workers have of course are excited that it could be they want Rahul Gandhi to be contesting from here, although there is no official confirmation. But of course, the mood certainly here is that Rahul Gandhi will be coming back to fight from Amethi. I would like to show you the preparations have also somewhat begun. The polls are being laid here, and this of course shows that the local district workers are ready for the leader whose name will be announced very soon.
So preparations have begun, but the workers not quite sure for whom those preparations are. Hopefully that announcement soon. Thanks so much for joining us. Tanish reporting from Amethi. In other news, now remember in the morning we were also talking about how the BJP hasn't made its decision for Kaisarganj, but the BJP's heavyweight MP and former wrestling boss Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh has been dropped from his constituency this time. The BJP instead named his son Karan Bhushan Singh as its candidate from Kaisarganj. The announcement made this afternoon puts a lid on the speculation surrounding the seat as well as its high-profile MP. But the opposition has hit out, calling the replacement an eyewash. Trinamool Congress said it's a clear case of dynastic politics and a politics of proxy, as the son is clearly a proxy for Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. And wrestler Sakshi Malik, Olympic winner, has also reacted and said that India's daughters have lost. Remember, she had really led that protest against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, who's accused of sexual harassment by several women athletes. So Sakshi Malik putting out a post saying the daughters of the country lost, Brij Bhushan won. We all put our careers at stake, slept on the streets for many days in sun and rain. Till date, Brij Bhushan has not been arrested. We were not demanding anything. We were only demanding justice. Today, by giving a ticket to his son, you have broken the morale of crores of daughters of the country. Well, let's just listen into what Karan Bhushan Singh had to say and also what the opposition had to say.
आपको भाजपा ने एक बड़ा मौका दिया, क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं और कैसरगंज की सभी जनता को, सभी पिता को।
जय श्री राम।
ठीक है भैया।
भारतीय जनता नामांकन आप कब से
नामांकन हम कल करेंगे। जय श्री राम।
That the Bharatiya Janata Party has given a ticket to Karan Singh, who is the son of its former star MP Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, is shameful and disgraceful. Mr. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh has been accused of serious sexual assault by none other than India's Olympic medal winning women wrestlers. He's also been accused under the POSCO Act or sexual offences against children. To give a ticket to Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh's son is nothing but the politics of proxy. It shows that the BJP is not willing to condemn the sexual assault committed by Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh.
News now from Karnataka on the sex videos scandal that has gripped the state. Karnataka Home Department tightened its noose around Prajwal Revanna, the JDS MP who's fighting to buy time to appear before the investigating authorities. With a lookout notice now issued and a likely arrest suggested, all eyes are on when and how the controversial leader of the JDS will return to India.
The special investigation team looking into the Prajwal Revanna videos case rejected the request made by JDS Lok Sabha candidate of Hassan, Prajwal Revanna, for 7 days' time to appear before investigators, claiming he is not in India. Karnataka Home Minister G. Parameshwara confirmed that a lookout notice against the MP and his father, sitting MLA H.D. Revanna, has been issued and the authorities will crack the whip on them if they fail to cooperate and appear for questioning.
So ಅವರು ಅಪಿಯರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಬರದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವರನ್ನ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Regarding revoking Prajwal Revanna's diplomatic passport as requested by CM Siddaramaiah, the MEA has suggested that no action can be taken without any court direction.
जहां तक डिप्लोमेटिक पासपोर्ट को रिवोक या रद्द करने की बात है, वो पासपोर्ट एक्ट जो हमारा है 1967 का, उसके तहत होता है और उसके तहत आप देखेंगे उसमें जो प्रोविजंस हैं उसमें डायरेक्शन आना चाहिए कोर्ट से, है ना, तब जाके वो रद्द होता है. तो अभी फिलहाल हमारे पास कोई इस प्रकार का डायरेक्शन किसी कोर्ट से नहीं आया है.
The Congress and the NDA have been trading allegations against each other, with even claims that Prajwal Revanna's travel was arranged expecting the controversy to erupt. But even while case and videos have generated strong reactions, and some of the videos could even amount to rape, the Revanna family remains defiant.
ಯಾವ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು ಕೂಡ ಯಾರು ಗೊಂದಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಕೂಡ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸಭೆಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ನಮ್ಮ ತಾಲೂಕಲ್ಲಾಗ್ಬೋದು, ಹೋಬಳಿ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಾಗ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಸಭೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರವರ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಗಳನ್ನ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 100ಕ್ಕೆ 100 ಭಾಗ ಪ್ರಜ್ವಲ್ ರೇವಣ್ಣ ಅವರು ಗೆಲ್ತಾರೆ.
DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಬಹಳ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಈ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ನೋಡಿ, ಯಾರು ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. SIT ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. SIT ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಯಾವ ಉದ್ದೇಶಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಸಾಬೀತಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಾಯ್ದು ನೋಡೋಣ.
This case has taken a political turn, with remaining of the 14 constituencies in Karnataka going to polls on May 7th. The BJP has joined hands with the JDS, and this case has prompted the Congress to launch an all-out attack on the BJP. With camera person Govind Pratibaraman in Bengaluru for NDTV.
News now from West Bengal, and Congress leader Adhir Ranjan's alleged better to vote for the BJP than Trinamool video clip has kicked off a huge controversy with the Trinamool Congress, who is an ally of the Big Tent opposition bloc India, taking the stab of criticism not so lightly. The Congress leader in Lok Sabha saying vote for BJP or Congress, think about it, there is neither ideology nor ideals. Some selfish people like him have sold off the country, is what Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee said, hitting out at the leader today. Adhir Ranjan is heard saying it's better to vote for the BJP than to vote for the Trinamool in an 8-second video clip during an election rally in Bengal's Murshidabad. The Congress, though, tried to play down the entire controversy.
সার্ভে বলছে মোদির এই মুহূর্তে 100 সিট মোদির হাত থেকে বেরিয়ে গেছে, আরো সিট কমার দিকে চলেছে। তাই ভুল করবেন না, কংগ্রেস এবং বামকে জেতানো জরুরি। কংগ্রেস এবং বাম যদি না জেতে ভারতবর্ষের ধর্মনিরপেক্ষতা আঘাত খাবে। তৃণমূলকে ভোট দেওয়া মানে তার থেকে ভালো বিজেপিকে ভোট দিতে না, তৃণমূলকে ভোট দেওয়া মানে তার থেকে অনেক ভালো বিজেপিকে ভোট দিয়ে দেওয়া।
আর আজকে যারা বসে আছে তারা কারা? বিজেপির লোক আর সাথে কংগ্রেসের বিরোধী দলনেতা, যিনি বলছেন হয় বিজেপিকে ভোট দিন, নয় সিপিএমকে, নয় কংগ্রেসকে ভোট দিন। বুঝুন, না আছে নীতি, না আছে আদর্শ। দুজন নেতা মিটিং করে গেলেন বহরমপুরে, একবারও সেই নেতার নাম মনে আনলেন না। কেন আনবে? দেশটাকে তো বিক্রি করে দিয়েছে এদের মতো কয়েকটা স্বার্থপর লোক।
An election special report. The land of the Reddy brothers will see a closely contested election, and Ballari BJP's Sri Ramulu is trying to ensure that he is not pushed to political oblivion, while Congress's Tukaram is trying to break the BJP fort. Pratibha Raman reports.
As you travel around 300 kilometers from Bengaluru, the granite rocks of Ballari welcome you. The active markets of the Hyderabad-Karnataka region, the soaring temperatures across the rural lands, the dry deciduous forests, home to over 18 lakh voters, make it the Ballari Lok Sabha constituency where political temperatures are always high. In this constituency reserved for the scheduled tribes, BJP's B. Sri Ramulu, who was a Lok Sabha MP in 2014, will be contesting against Congress's E. Tukaram, who is fighting to enter the parliament for the first time. The moment you land in this constituency, your ears are ringing with catchy tunes. While one highlights Sri Ramulu's accomplishments in this constituency working for the development and progress, another captures Tukaram's pro-people initiatives. Each of them carefully crafted and composed intricately by the respective teams to make it a viral and a political sensation. Sri Ramulu hit the spotlight when he worked with the Reddy brothers during party leader Sushma Swaraj's election campaign in 1999. Though she lost then, the BJP barged into the Congress stronghold, holding fort since 2004, except for 6 months between 2018 and 2019. An MLA in 2008, he parted ways with the BJP and the Reddy family in 2011 post the illegal mining case in which Reddy was arrested. While he got back into the party fold in 2014, he now has the power of Janardhan Reddy too behind him. Despite 6 of the 8 assembly segments having been backed by the Congress, Sri Ramulu is banking on the Modi factor and Reddy's influence to wrest the seat.
ए बार 400 सीट जीतना पड़ेगा। वो 400 सीट्स पे श्री रामलू भी, बल्लारी और विजयनगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट से रामलू भी एक होना चाहिए। देखो हम कभी ये 10 साल से मोदी जी साहब को हम देख रहे, एक गुड गवर्नेंस दे रहे। देखो ये एक भी बिना एलिगेशन, बिना करप्शन देश के लिए काम कर रहे।
लेकिन अब जनार्दन रेड्डी जी जो है वो अभी यहाँ पे आपके साथ जुड़ रहे हैं।
देखो पार्टी हमारा पार्टी में नहीं था, बाद में उसका एक रीजनल पार्टी खोले। रीजनल पार्टी खोलने के बाद वो भी एमएलए को तो पब्लिक इलेक्ट से किया है ना, नहीं बोलते। कभी पब्लिक से कभी जीत को है तो उसको लीडर को तो एक्सेप्ट करना ही पड़ेगा। अभी बीजेपी में है, अभी तो बहरहाल इधर के लोगों में उसका भी क्रेडिबिलिटी है।
After biting the dust in the recent assembly election in Karnataka when Sri Ramulu represented Ballari rural and lost, he is now looking to revive his political prospects with mining baron Janardhan Reddy's Ghar Vapsi to rebuild BJP's fortress here. But the Congress is now claiming that Janardhan Reddy is looking to exonerate himself from the cases. Sri Ramulu's desperate attempts to gain sympathy votes are being debunked by Congress's E. Tukaram, who is highlighting his welfare initiatives and contributions while holding several posts including that of district in charge minister. and the Congress guarantees are another poll plank. For Tukaram, challenge lies in the fact that his reputation may be limited to the Sandur Assembly constituency that he has represented 4 times.
In Karnataka already you have seen, so guarantees are work out. In next overall India, it definitely will work out. He's not spoken this accountability. He's already last time he's become a minister, then also he's a MP. His accountability is must now. Ballari people are seeing this Reddy administration. He's last is a minister, no, on that time he already seen. Nothing is happened. This time definitely Congress I will win.
A mix of urban and rural population with an estimated 21% scheduled castes and 18% scheduled tribe population. The issues here are diverse.
मैडम हमें मोदी जी के ऊपर भरोसा है. मोदी इज द पर्सन ही कैन मेक द रूल्स एंड हमारा इकोनॉमी 3rd पे लेके जाने के लिए वो गारंटी दे रहा है. 2000 रुपए के लिए हम हमारा वैल्यूएबल वोट खोने के लिए तैयार नहीं है.
काम कर रहे आदमी वो और गरीबों को मददगार है. बहुत अच्छा काम किया.
आपको लगता है कि यहाँ पे जो है सिद्धरामैया गारंटीज और मोदी गारंटीज के खिलाफ यहाँ पे
नहीं वो भी काम करेगा. क्यों गरीब लोगों को अनुकूल हुआ ना. हर गरीबों घर को पैसा पहुँच रहा है. एक जिंदगी चलता गरीब घराने का जिंदगी चलता.
Both the parties have worked out the caste equations by fielding candidates belonging to the Valmiki community. The BJP is looking to mine Janardhan Reddy's clout in the region, and the Congress is looking to scale Ballari boulders in this region with its guarantees. With camera person Govind, Pratibha Raman in Ballari for NDTV.
A big controversy after the order by the Lieutenant Governor. V.K. Saksena's office stated that the women's body had terminated the services of 223 contractual staff in Delhi. However, an official then clarified that 223 posts were illegally created. Only 52 staff were hired and the remaining posts had remained vacant. However, the former head of the women's body, Swati Maliwal, hit out.
Delhi government versus LG reignites once again. The LG has removed 223 employees of the Delhi Women's Commission in one go, alleging that the appointments were irregular and done without approval. As per LG House sources, the contractual appointments were done without LG's permission. As per the DCW Act, only 40 posts can be sanctioned, and that DCW does not have power to appoint contractual employees on its own.
मैं स्वाति मालीवाल जो राज्यसभा की सदस्य निर्वाचित हुई हूँ.
This comes in close on the heels of the face of the Delhi Women's Panel, Swati Maliwal, heading to Rajya Sabha on an AAP ticket. Maliwal lashed out at the LG, calling it a Tughlaki Farman, and that if this order is to be followed, Delhi Women's Panel's work will come to a standstill.
This is a completely Tughlaki order by Honorable LG. Because you see, firstly, there are no 223 staff in the Delhi Commission for Women. So right now there are 90 staff, out of which 8 are regular staff and the rest are on contract 3 months to 3 months basis. With a single stroke of his pen, he has completely dismantled the Delhi Commission for Women.
The Delhi Women's Panel is now planning to take legal action and also hold protests over the issue. There have been frequent run-ins between Delhi LG and the government on several issues, including Delhi government still being hemmed by a CM in jail.
In an official statement, the Women and the Child Development Department has now informed that it has removed 52 contractual employees from the DCW, citing illegal appointments. Now, with this, certainly yet another chapter has been added to the Lieutenant Governor versus the Delhi government row. Now, in Delhi, with camera person Arun Negi, this is Ishka Verma for NDTV.
India reacted after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau attended a Khalistani event, saying Canada is giving space to extremism and that Canada is encouraging a climate of violence.
You would have seen a press release that we made when we summoned the Deputy High Commissioner regarding an event that was attended by the Prime Minister where Khalistan slogans were raised. The other media engagement that you are referring to took place on the sidelines of the this event. In our view, Prime Minister Trudeau's remarks, he has made those remarks earlier as well, so they are not, it's nothing new. His remarks to us, it illustrates once again the kind of political space that has been given in the country, in Canada, to separatism, to extremism and violent people who practice violence. This not only impacts India-Canada relations, but also encourages a climate of violence and criminality in Canada to the detriment of its citizens.
The CISF has taken over the security of India's parliament, and this security upgrade comes months after the parliament breach that took place. They're now in charge of access and control at parliament. Take a look at the changes.
Men in black slithering down on the top of the building known as the seat of power in the country. This is not a scene out of a movie, but mock drill being conducted by NSG at the Parliament building. However, the CISF has taken over security from Parliament as building security gets an upgrade. Mock drills like these are held every week. NDTV has accessed details of an expert committee report to MHA, which says there are gaps at 8 entry points. Access to the building will be monitored by the CISF. CISF will also scan luggage being brought in. Even shoes will be scanned.
लेकिन मैं नहीं समझता हूँ कि CISF एक उपाय है कि हर जगह उसको डाल दिया जाए. मैं समझता हूँ कि CISF जो कि अत्यंत ही संवेदनशील बिल्डिंग्स हैं और संस्थाएं हैं, वहाँ पे डालना चाहिए.
This security overhaul was ordered shortly after the breach at Parliament, where 2 individuals entered the building, reached the well of the lower house, and even opened smoke canisters. The intruders had managed to sneak in the smoke canisters in their shoes. While the security upgrade has been implemented, keeping in mind all lessons learned from the breach, NSG is also kept on standby in case of emergencies.
Onus of Parliament security does not only lie with security agencies, but members of the House are equally responsible. Many a times complaints have come forward in which members have asked security officials to relax rules, to let their supporters inside the building. And that's the reason why security breaches happen. In New Delhi, this is Neeta Sharma reporting for NDTV.